Welcome to Eyes on EB, Voices of EB, where conversation and community meet. I am so fortunate to be sitting here with two beautiful East Brunswick High School seniors who came to us to share their initiative, which is called the Peace Pulse Initiative. I'm here with Anna Berkuta and Veronica Slovinsky, and I would love for you guys to introduce yourselves and tell us why you came to us.
So, hi, I'm Veronica, and Anna and I started this initiative 2 years ago when we received an influx, like 2 to 3 years ago, we received an influx of Ukrainian students coming into the school, and our families are both originally from there, and we just realized that due to the war and the hardships that they've been going through, we really wanted to help.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Anna Berkuta. I kind of wanted to partner with Veronica to start this initiative because I am first generation. I live here with both of my parents, but my whole family is still like in Ukraine. Like I still get the phone calls of like my grandparents having to go to the bomb shelters in like 4 a.m. and stay. And like my great grandma's there. She's like 97. I think it's just like difficult. So I wanted to make like a network to try and help people that have already came here and kind of help them like adjust to life. Because also English was not my first language. Like I had to take ESL classes in school.
How old were you when you feel like you grasped English?
Maybe like 2nd grade, because as like a kid, it was easier to learn it.
Yes.
But going into kindergarten, I didn't know English. Like I got picked on for it. And I know how hard it is for people coming here to kind of assimilate to life. So we wanted to start this to help the people that have came here.
Wow.
Yeah, and Russian's also my first language. I think I learned English in preschool, so it was a little bit earlier. But kind of when the whole war started, I felt very like powerless because it's so far away. Mm-hmm. So if we could do anything to help in our own communities, then that's great.
So you came together for this initiative, which, by the way, my heart is bursting with the fact that East Brunswick is creating such beautiful products of our society. I mean, it's just blowing me away. So hats off to you, East Brunswick Public Schools, and all parents in East Brunswick, because this is evidence right here of the amazing things that are going on in our schools. How were you received when you first wanted? How were your parents about it?
My parents were on board. They just we kind of did it a lot on our own because they weren't really sure how we would help. And we started off really small at first. Like, we have friends who are Ukrainian, and so we kind of did interviews with them, and they would share their story, and then we would post it on our Instagram. But we realized that it's not really making as big of an impact as we wanted it to. So then we expanded to we just started emailing a bunch of charities and saying, do you guys need anything? Like, can we work with you? Because like shipping materials is very expensive and difficult, and a lot of stuff was blocked off. So we just needed to find places that could work with us.
So you were gathering stuff here and shipping it over there?
So Hope for Ukraine is like the charity that ended up answering after many didn't.
Okay.
So our first thing was a clothing drive, and we drove an hour to northern New Jersey, I'm pretty sure, and they have like a storage area, so we dropped off the boxes.
Wow.
Basically.
How did you get your word? I mean, how did just the two of you get your word out for a clothing drive? That's amazing. Like,
it was mainly just around East Brunswick, like asking friends and family, but then also like some people that did follow the account said, okay, like maybe like we'll donate. But it really did start small. Like at first our initial goal was to make a platform to connect like Ukrainians that are here and there, because I have like friends that live there and stuff like that. So we wanted at first to just share their stories and experiences and try to have them connect like on video calls. Mm-hmm. But then when we realized that wasn't really making a change, we wanted to do something more. So then that's when we did the clothing drop.
What do you mean it wasn't making enough of a change? You felt like it wasn't as impactful as you had thought it? What do you mean by that? Expand.
It was difficult because I think at least like the kids there, like my mom's best friends, like kids, we tried to contact them. They were very shy. They didn't want to be posted. They didn't want their names online. Mm-hmm. It was awkward.
Right.
Yeah. And it was just really hard to reach people that actually want to, because we wanted just as kind of like a stress relief for them, because it's kind of nice to know people. Like we wanted to maybe do like a group like that meets in the library to talk about, but none of them really wanted to talk about their feelings. Like they're very sheltered. So that wasn't really working out.
I respect that you didn't give up. I think that's pretty amazing. So you pivoted, right?
Yeah.
The first plan didn't work and you just pivoted right along.
Yeah.
So plan 2 was what? Plan B? Where did you go from there?
Emailing just a bunch of organizations and asking if they needed help.
Okay. And that's where the clothing drive happened.
Mm-hmm.
From the clothing drive.
From the clothing drive, we decided, like, I had connections with this one organization that I did some community service for, with like packaging stuff and sending it away.
Okay.
Like packing different stuff that people need. So I contacted them because
I want to stop
Yeah.
before. Just what are things that people need? Do they still need? I mean, just let's get that out there right now before we move on to something else. Is there still a need for things, for actual things? Is there still a need to, do those kinds of drives?
100%.
I feel like, yeah, there definitely is, because there's always like the people that are stuck in the cities that are getting like heavily bombed every single day.
Okay.
And like anything helps them, even with like little kids, like even just stuff like toys or just anything like that. So obviously it's just hard because it's really expensive to send like the boxes and stuff. So it takes a lot of fundraising to even get the funds to send the boxes. But I reached out to them because I know that they help a bunch of Ukrainians that have came here with legal like tax documents, forms, like just stuff like that. So I asked them if they could connect us with a few Ukrainians, like maybe teenagers. And we decided that we would facilitate like teen talk meetings, where it's just like a bunch of kids would come, we would meet in Marlborough, and we would just do different activities, like stress management activities, like I don't know, like planting flowers, just like
Social,
stuff like
emotional,
that.
Yeah.
social, emotional wellness activities.
Yeah.
Crafts.
As you are talking, the two of you, I'm like, I can't, it's hard for me to like not like well up with tears and like just with pride for you're out of the box thinking.
Thank
wow.
you.
Oh my goodness. And did you have events like that?
Yeah.
How are those going?
So we would have events all of last school year, every other Saturday, I'm pretty sure every 2 weeks. We would use their space, and they already were helping a lot of families, and they told us like we can help adults, but it's really hard to like reach these children. Like it's especially teenagers, like, like teenagers can get sheltered and not want to talk about their emotions. And
Right.
it's just really hard as adults to help them. So like, since we're teenagers ourselves,
It's the best way, right?
we would bring like our peers from school to the meetings as well. And just kind of, we have a group chat with them as well. And I know Anna and I organized making crafts. Like one day we played with, I don't know, we made like slime, like just, we would play games. There'd be food, and like, I would watch.
Who's paying for the supplies for this stuff?
We would bring some of it, but also like it's the foundation space, so they'd also bring things as well.
That's wow. So aside from planting flowers, what are some of the other activities that you guys have held?
Like our biggest event I think that we had was
In July.
Yeah, it was in July, and we went to a park in Woodbridge, and we had so many people come. Obviously,
It was like over 100 people.
over 100 people.
Like families. Like
Yeah.
it was like parents and kids, but basically like the organization that we kind of collaborated with, they were the ones in charge of like the whole barbecue and like the adult aspect. But then the adults obviously that came with kids, like we were kind of responsible for that. So we went to Five Below, we got a bunch of different toys, like, the ones like where it's like Velcro and with like a ball and you like throw it. We brought those, and we brought like the beanbag toss and like soccer balls, volleyballs, and then we were just kind of responsible for like playing with them, like, and just stuff like that. It was little kids, like as little as, I don't know, like 5.
So you'll take donations of stuff like that?
Yes.
I have a whole bunch of giant games I'd love to donate.
That would be amazing.
I have a big thing of Connect 4, and from a party I threw for my girls that's sitting in my storage closet right now that I think kids of all ages would really, really like. So
Thank you.
After this, we'll get in contact, and I'd like to donate that stuff to you. So, okay. You also mentioned a little bit that you tutor and that there are other services that you guys offer besides just these, weekly or monthly, get-togethers. What other things do you offer the Ukrainian community?
So we really wanted to start ESL tutoring because it's just a really big challenge. Like, again, the organization that we work with hosts, I think, like once a week ESL classes, but we just had like parents come to us and say how it's really difficult to learn the language. It's difficult for their kids in school. So the first kid that we connected with, it was in 4th grade. And we met with her at the library, honestly, every week. At one point, her mom would come and we helped her with all her schoolwork. They'd bring everything. And she really improved. Like, I was really happy. Like, she was really grateful, like, really nice. Yeah. And it really helped her.
So you helped her with academics also, and just like the language, just the barrier of language.
Yeah. So, ESL tutoring was the main thing with her, but her mom also reached out to us for help with, for example, finding camp.
Okay.
Her mom works a lot. Obviously it's hard for them to find jobs when they don't fully speak English. And she really needed to find a place to send her in the summer, but everything's extremely expensive. So I called different camps, asked them if they'd be willing to lower the price for them, explain the situation.
And this was at like the very end of June. Like, most of the camps, the due dates were already like passed. So we had to ask if there's any way to first extend the deadline. Second, if there's any like maybe like discount that they give. And it was just very difficult. But after contacting like many different places, we found one. And then even after that, there was like an issue with like the busing of like, cause she signed up for 2 different camps. So it was just difficult, but...
And you helped her navigate through that whole entire thing. Now, had she not had the 2 of you to help her navigate through that child would have sat home.
Yeah. She would not have anywhere to go. And like, I went to camp my whole life. Like, I know that's first grade to maybe I think 7th or 8th grade I went to camp, so I know how beneficial it is for the parents. Like, both my parents work full time, and I just have so many good friends and memories from that. And like, every kid should be able to experience it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes. And we recently did that interview that you saw with Ruth Ann Weiss from Eagles Landing Day Camp, who is extending their outreach into economically disadvantaged families, who might benefit from scholarship. Are there safe places for kids that come here and don't speak the language to go?
There are many camps like Eagles Landing, Lakeview, Rec, but I'm not sure.
But even during the year, if a child comes here and doesn't speak the language, it's very hard for them to sign up for after school programs and for those kinds of things, to sit in a classroom for like the STEM class, if you don't speak the language.
Exactly. And I feel like it's just difficult because like school itself is hard, especially for like the teenagers that don't speak English, because the courses are challenging. So how are you supposed to learn a course and understand it when you don't like understand the language?
Right. And that's a whole educational system issue. But the social aspect of it afterwards. So you are filling like this void for these children who otherwise would probably not sign up for those after school classes. I mean, and I'm not talking about camp summer. I'm talking about, Monday through Friday, September through June.
Yeah.
So 100%. When these kids do work, when these kids' parents do work after school, where do these kids go after school? Do you know?
Aftercare. At least the girl that we tutored, the one girl, aftercare at school, her mom figured out how to sign her up for. Like, she has an older brother as well, but he's trying to find a job. The dad works long hours. But yeah. So
you would like to let everybody know what would you like to tell everybody you are here to help them with?
I'd say that we're just here for any like Ukrainians that need support in any aspect of life, honestly. Like ESL, like finding different, like filling out, for example, like any formal documents that they can't fill out because of the language barrier, or for example, helping the kids like assimilate here, find new friends, because we have connections with different people. We can connect the kids. And
so if a parent needs their school forms filled out and they don't, would you meet them at the library? How does that work for them? Just so that we know, what it looks like if they reach out to you and they say, I'm really, my child keeps coming home with all of these forms, and they're not always in Russian, actually, right? They're not. They're in Spanish, they're in Arabic, they're in, other, but not Russian, right?
Yeah. So, like, our parents obviously speak Russian as well, Ukrainian. So, my dad has come to the library with me.
Okay.
And helped, at least when we were trying to sign that girl up for camp, to do all those forms. Like, for the documents that are kind of new to Anna and I, our parents are always there as well as adults.
Great. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So then that's great to know for our viewers that, if they are, like legal documents that an adult needs to be present for, your parents would absolutely lend a hand. So that's great. That's great to know. Thank you to your parents.
Even with like the documents that aren't like that hard to fill out. For example, one of the days we were at the library tutoring the little girl, and the mom usually just sits there with us, and she asked us for help because she got a government card that allows her, like, when she goes to ShopRite or something, she has a certain like credit that she can use, and she couldn't get the card activated, and she was like, I've been trying like for months, and I was wondering if you guys can help me. And we just sat there, and it took maybe 15-20 minutes. Like, I remember when we were calling the phone number, it was like a robot, like it, and you can't really speak to a real person. But after a little bit of trying, like, we were able to get it figured out.
So that's really great to know too. You'll help the parents as well as the children.
Yeah.
Wow. So your call to action for our community is what? What would you like to ask East Brunswick community to help you with?
Maybe one of the things we can ask East Brunswick community to help with, like, part of the community that's not Ukrainian, would be either to kind of be more understanding that there are people in our community that are Ukrainian that have came recently that have struggles here, and kind of be more accepting of that. And also, like, if anyone here in East Brunswick that needs help, that is Ukrainian or has connections, knows someone, even not even East Brunswick, because we've helped kids all over, like, New Jersey, then we are very open to helping and maybe, like, expanding this even more.
What about you?
Yeah, I think at least in schools, the kids that have to take ESL are sometimes looked at, not like less than, but kind of in a way less than.
That's an interesting thing. Can we stop and talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
You feel that way?
100%.
That kids that are ESL, that are in ESL programs, are looked at differently.
Like, they're not allowed to take certain classes. At least Anna has a more, like, personal story with that. But
so I actually, like, was experiencing, like, this story kind of firsthand, like, within the past few weeks.
Wow.
So my boyfriend is Ukrainian. He came here like 3 years ago. He's a freshman in college right now. He goes to Middlesex. He was going to go to Middlesex for 2 years, get his associates in, like, business, and then transfer to Rutgers for finance / business. They're telling him that, so he's in ESL 3 right now, and he needs to finish ESL 3, 4, and 5 before he could take real classes, and each ESL, like, level is a semester. So they're basically telling him to get through ESL, it's going to take him like 2.5 years, and then he could start his, like, business class to get his associates. So the only class he's taking right now, he's taking ESL twice a week and, like, one math class, and that's it. And he's like, why do I have to, like, when all these kids are able to get their bachelor's in 4 years, why do I have to take, like, more than 6 years?
Is that just a Middlesex thing, do you think?
I don't know.
Or is that a college thing?
I went with him to Middlesex to help him choose his classes, because also, like, the language barrier for him, like, he's still not fluent. And so I went with him.
So even at the college level, even at the college level, they have issues?
Yeah. So I went with him to try and figure it out. And they were like, yeah, unfortunately, our policy is that ESL students have to go through the whole, ESL program before being able to take, like, normal people classes. And it's like,
even in high school degree.
In high school, he was able to take, like, his electives, his normal classes on top of having ESL. But in Middlesex, he's not able to. And it's like, they think these kids are stupid or something. They should at least be able to get, like, be able to, like, have the opportunity to take it, and then with the discretion that they might not be able to do well in the class.
Sign off on it. Like, say, okay, I know, let's make that choice. Like, I'll handle the load, or, I get it. I totally get it. Wow. That's really upsetting. That's upsetting to hear, because it's holding him back.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like stopping his life.
Right.
Yeah.
For like 2 years.
Yes.
Literally for 2 years. It's like you're holding, you know.
And it's like, I'm going to be able to finish college before him, and he's a year older than me.
Yeah, that's a problem in our society. Wow. Okay. What about in East Brunswick? Do you feel East Brunswick schools that they've been good with kids who are of diverse ethnicities?
I think so. I mean, I know the first boy that I met, who I helped him get to his class his freshman year, he plays basketball. I introduced him to other kids. Like, obviously they're involved in clubs. And I think because there's a variety of them in our school, like, they all became friends, and they have this big friend group, and they are always together. They kind of help each other get involved in things, which I think is, in East Brunswick, I think that they're strong with that.
Good.
And everyone's very inclusive.
That's really, really refreshing.
And he's able to play sports like normally with it. Yeah. And
I actually wanted to touch on that for a little bit. So
absolutely.
Besides Peace Pulse Initiative, I kind of wanted to expand this to like make like a Slavic club in school that people can come to that are like Ukrainian, or no matter, like Ukrainian, Russian, like anything, that can come to like the club after school, like once every few weeks, I don't know, and just learn about different Slavic cultures, just to connect them and stuff. And so I went to the school, like I went to the vice principal to ask if I can start this kind of club, and they said, I can't name it officially Slavic club, it has to be called like a religious club, because we can't get funding. So in order for me to be able to start a club, it has to have a religious name. So I named it Eastern European Orthodox Club.
That's why I couldn't do it, because I'm Jewish, so it kind of like contradicts.
So even though it is a Slavic club, we do like basically everything as a Slavic club. We named it Eastern European Orthodox Club, and unlike other clubs in East Brunswick public schools, we don't get funding. So every single thing that we do in the club, I have to pay for and split it like between the exec board members, which there's 5 of us, so it really isn't.
Hold on, stop for 1 second. Let's back up. Let's unpack this a little bit. Okay, so I'm actually going to write this down, because this is a very, very interesting trajectory we're heading in. So in order for you to create a club at all, it needed to be a religious club. It couldn't be a cultural club.
Because like they didn't have enough money to fund the teacher, and we needed an advisor. So like if it's a religious club, they don't pay the advisor. Yeah. That's how it works.
So they told me, so I started this club.
Oh, I see.
I started this club a year ago, and they told me like a year ago, they said, okay, you can make it religious for now, but next year come back to us and you'll be able to name it Slavic Club and get funding. So I come back to them at the end of like this past school year, like in June, and they said, oh, so unfortunately you still have to make it religious, because the clubs that are able to get funding, there's like a list of clubs before you that come that, so even if you guys ask to get put on that list, like those clubs are going to get funding before you. So unfortunately you still have to remain by the name of Eastern European Orthodox Club, and you can't get funding, which I understand because it is a lot of money to pay the teachers and stuff like that. But even just being able to name it Slavic Club.
Right. I was just going to say, why, if they're not funding you and you're going on a waiting list, right? In essence, that's what they're telling you, that you're on a waiting list. And if you change it to the Slavic Club, you go to the end of the waiting list line, right? Am I right on that? Why is that not okay? Did you say, yes, okay, I want to do that? Like,
so I didn't really even get the option to get put on the waiting list. They were just informing me that pretty much, like you're not going to be able to get it because there's clubs before you that like are getting funding.
Those clubs get on the waiting list? I'm
not sure. I think it's just they have a set amount, like number of clubs that can get funding, and if any of those clubs,
but then what if one of those clubs disbands?
Then it would be the next one,
right? So wouldn't it be fair and equitable, that any club that would like to be created gets the opportunity to be on a waiting list, just like every other club, correct? So if you said, hey, that's fine, we'll wait, okay, maybe I won't be there when it happens, right? I mean, in essence, probably that's reality. You guys will be gone. But the legacy that you will leave is that you've put them on the waiting list, right? And you put you on the map. So wait a minute. Is it that if you change the name, you can't happen at all until you're on Or is it
It's just that if the club gets funding, then we can change the name. But as we don't have funding right now,
you can't actually physically change the name until you get funding?
Because it has to be a religious club in order for her to start it. So, European Orthodox is a religion. That's the only way they'll allow it.
And that disqualifies you?
Yeah, like I'm Jewish and I'm the president of the Jewish club in school. I'm a part of a Jewish organization outside of school. So it would kind of be...
It would contradict it if you joined.
I'm doing.
Right, I see.
Which is like, there's a lot of Slavic Jews as well.
Slavic club, that would not contradict your other affiliations at all.
Exactly.
Because Ukrainian, like, is Slavic.
Yeah.
Right. And do you do any religious aspects of your club aside from the name?
No. Only so basically how the club runs, we kind of learn about different, like, Slavic countries, like Poland, Romania, like different countries.
By the way, every Ashkenazi Jew is from Eastern Europe, which is Slavic.
So we kind of just like teach about the different places, and then we'll bring in like food traditional to that culture, which again we pay for. But when like we present these different countries, obviously we state like what religion most of their people go by, but
which is respectful, right? It's acknowledging. I think that's absolutely.
But it's definitely not a religious club, like Muslim club, Jewish club. Right. Definitely not. It's Slavic club, just without the name.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
That's really sad, because there are probably quite a few people who that disqualifies, right? I mean,
definitely.
Anyone can
like a line in the sand, like almost. It's almost making it divisive, whereas your whole aim is to make it inclusive and to bring people together, whereas the district is almost forcing you to make it the opposite of what you really are trying to make it. I hope that you're able to work through that. I really do. I hope, because I think what that in itself is really, as I've become more aware of East Brunswick as it is right now, I've seen that it's so diverse, right? Like it's even very diverse than it's ever been.
Even compared to other school districts nearby.
Yeah, and I actually think that's one of the most beautiful parts of it. So what's up next for you guys? Like this school year just started. Where are you headed right now with your Peace Pulse initiative?
Yeah, right now we're running a food
senior year, so you guys have a whole bunch of other stuff going on too, right?
Yeah, so right now we're running a food drive that's ongoing. We're just trying to collect donations. I think we're going to probably keep it open until the end of September, maybe mid-October.
And how can people get food to you? How can we help fill that wish list?
One, they could probably message us directly on Instagram, and then they could either drop it off at one of our houses, or we would be fine picking it up.
Okay.
Anything like that, yeah.
All right, great. Yeah. So we'll make sure that we link your Instagram page as well, so that if you need or would love to make a donation of food, we will link the Instagram page, and you can find it through our Instagram and Facebook pages as well. What else after that, beside the food drive?
So besides that, we actually went on a Zoom meeting with one other girl that wanted to run like the Teen Talk meetings with us, and like the head of the other organization that we collaborate with, just to talk about different ideas. And kind of like we're kind of going to change the trajectory a little bit of how we run the meetings. So instead of just doing like a craft each time, because I guess it can get a little bit awkward sometimes, we want to really like connect the teenagers, because especially the ones that maybe might be like depressed or might not even want to come to the meetings, like we want to do something to get them to all come together. And when we did like the barbecue in July, we realized that sports really bring together the kids. So at the meetings, we'll do different things, but we decided to host an event that we're going to have on September 14th. And it's going to, I think, probably be somewhere in East Brunswick, but I'm not too sure. Okay. And we're either going to have like a parents versus kids, like soccer or something. Just we've been trying to like fundraise, like go around different places in East Brunswick and ask for donations, because again, like there was 100 people at the last like thing. So in September, like for all the kids, obviously you need like the snacks, the even water.
Are there any businesses that are Ukrainian owned that you've reached out to? Are there, I mean...
Not yet, but I know that there's a bagel shop. I think it's either Manalapan or Marlboro that is Ukrainian owned. So I'm definitely going to reach out to them.
So we're looking for some Ukrainian owned businesses in Monmouth County and Middlesex County that might want to help offset some of the costs of seniors in high school who really want to bring teens together to just focus on being teens.
And also, like, the organization, they offer, like, I forget what the paper is called, but like a tax write-off where if they do they donate.
Donation, right.
Yeah.
So they can donate to the organization that you partner with who is a registered 501c3.
Yes.
So they get the tax. That's actually very important to distinguish.
So it can be any business.
That's great. Okay. So it can be any business. That's actually really good to know. So if you're a business out there and you would like to donate, the organization that they pair up with is a 501c3 and you can get a tax write-off for your donation. So connect with these girls and help make it happen. It's a really amazing endeavor that the two of you have set off on. And I'm so privileged that you reached out to us to help get your word out. It's been a pleasure meeting you both and just hearing it and helping you. And is there any other last words that you guys would like to share with the community before we set you off on your Sunday?
I think, like, for anyone else, because we're going to graduate, we'll go on. For anyone wanting to start something, like, you just have to be unafraid. Like, you just have to do it. Like, you just have to work through the hardships. Like, we didn't really start off on a great note. We weren't getting anywhere, but you just have to keep problem solving. I think just, like, a need for help is really important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, for us, like, in ninth grade, I think, in ninth grade when we started this, we were pretty, like, discouraged at first when, like, the calls.
Ninth grade, you started this?
Yeah, but it was going very slow at
you
first.
were ninth graders, and you as ninth graders were mature enough to realize that this was a need that you could help fulfill. Wow, that's even more impressive.
Yeah, so I just think, like, at first it was definitely pretty slow, but for anyone, like, starting something, like, just do it, because as we started, after, like, we changed from the calls to, like, the clothing donations, I remember when we had, like, 8 to 10, like, big boxes, like, we dropped them off and it was almost like an adrenaline rush, and we were like, we have to do more. Like, this is so cool.
Rush, right?
We were so happy.
Dopamine rush.
And then we just kept going, like, after that. And then we were like, so.
We have heroes among us in East Brunswick. Wow, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just wow. I mean, if you don't run to help these ladies out, I honestly don't know where your heart is. It's as simple as that. I mean, and they're beautiful inside and out, and smart and intelligent and kind-hearted, which is really the most important thing. And we thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and being the heroes and the change makers that you are. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.